And when I have really, really short poems, I try to come up with an image to do something with it. I think most recently is the title Every Step that said, I looked at my smartphone health app, and it told me that every step I took was an unhealthy one. You know, and from a thing that you had just said, it made me think to write this one, which has nothing to do with it, but I wrote, poor trapped snail, born into a shell that keeps them contained, trapped in these curved yet brittle, hard walls. These walls seem so suffocating. They make life so short. I'm gonna find a snail image and do an instant thing and do some sort of post of that. That was just a little, you know, let's get, and the haiku is you should get an Instagram thing and you put up pictures with that, that'd be cool. That's why I started a Twitter account, so I could have Twitter-like poems. No matter. I'm going to share with you 2 poems from this book because it was just recently released called In Depth, and I like the silver on the back popping out. Anyway, no matter. But these are after someone asked in an interview about travel in Europe. So I will do 2 poems that refer to things along that line. This first one's called Been a World Leader. People may think that Americans are cocky and arrogant because we've been a world leader for so long. Because even though our cars are from Korea, our electronics are from Japan, and we owe China billions, better beers from Germany, and better wines and champagnes from France, because even though we've been thrust into this global economy that Al Gore pushed us into by creating the internet, us Americans still seem to want to rest on our past laurels through the next millennium. Once I stopped at a beer at a dive bar in München, and the female bartender tended a bar for 3 old German men and 1 very out-of-place American. Barely knowing German, I figured I could just sit there, say a beer name on a tab and pay in euros and leave it at that. But at one point, after the jukebox in the far corner that I never even actually noticed, started playing some new American-sounding pop song, one of the old German men turned to me and started yelling at me in German. Pulling my Franziskaner draft, my eyes turned to saucers. I was unable to say a word to this old German man yelling at me in a language I could not decipher. And then the bartender yelled at the old man in German and then in English. They didn't play that song, I did. So I smiled at the bartender and finished my beer, realizing that Americans can still get into trouble without saying a word. This is called My Kind of Town. While walking through the Forbidden City in Beijing, China, where all the palace doorways had gold-colored risers blocking people's way into rooms 4 inches to a foot tall, because the higher your level of authority or royalty status in the kingdom, the higher the bar people had to step over, not on, but over, to enter the inside of the royalty's room. But after the Forbidden City, I entered the Summer Palace. An old Chinese man walked up to me with what I believed was his granddaughter walking 1 foot behind, though who knows, in China this one young girl could be one of his concubines, but it's really not for me to judge. But this older Chinese gentleman walked over and asked, in the best English he could muster, where I was from. So I told him the United States, and then I said Chicago. And that's when this man's eyes lit up. And he said, my kind of town. And I laughed, nodding my head in agreement. And then he leaned inward and he said, Frank Sinatra sang that. And I laughed again. Yes, he did, I said. Because even though this world is so vast, we will always find ways to connect with one another. And this last one is a poem from CC&D collection, On the Edge, and it's called Loving For. I think I'll tell you, this is when I was taking care of 4 cats. You called to me, so I followed. Found a place for us where you could just walk over and just collapse right next to me. And I could run my fingers up and down your body. You feel like cashmere, and you just look up at me and I see your big blue storytelling eyes. I touch you until you're suddenly scared and you have to walk away. Only when I stop for lunch do you come to me, bold, tempestuous, my self-actualized love. You just walk right up to me, collapse on me, and you expect me to serve you. So I grab you by the neck, pull your head back. I see your eyes start to close. It's like you've trained me well. I pull you closer to me until our eyes are just inches apart. And I kiss your head. You want me only when I have something to offer. And when I've got the goods, your alive body almost squeals with delight. And you know, it's only at these moments that I can touch you, feel your softness for myself. This is what I cherish. So, at night, that's when we get our chance. You usually want to test me, but at night, that's when you come to me. Curl up along my body, let me envelop you with my arms. That's when I'm able to sleep.